Hello everybody and welcome back to the channel. Sorry for a late post of this top 5. Um, Thank you very much for tuning in. As always, I am your guy Gonzo, and before we kick things off, I would like to give a shout out to my LCS, Cape Comics, Mr. Rob. Go give him a look see. If you do happen to pop by, just let him know Gonzo sent you. And also, what we have the comic standing on is the Superior stand. This time it is the black one. The previous few have been the red and the blue. They have all types of colors, sizes, and styles. So feel free to check them out. The Superior stand. Today's probably hopefully going to be a shorter one. I'm just going to just kind of fire off my top 5 of last week's comic book day haul of January 22nd. This new comic book haul is going to be a bit delayed, but that's okay. So let's kick things off here with the Justice League Unlimited number 3. This is written by our guy Mark Waid and by Dan Mora. This one was better than I expected. Coming into this one, it was definitely a slow burn. The artwork was great, as I showed you in the brief previews of it in for last week's haul. Basically, what this one ended up being was there was a fire in the Amazon. So the Amazon forest got on fire. I will try to make this as spoil free as possible. So I won't quite say who or who's behind it and all that, but Amazon catches on fire, and everybody in this picture here is pretty much on the case. They deployed nearly everybody, and this guy here, Swamp Thing, he does arrive, so it's not quite a spoiler. He's on the cover. So they reach out to everybody, and it was very, very cool to see how they blended everybody in. In a time, it did feel a bit busy, but Wade did a great job separating that and not really having it kind of not make sense. And so this down here, they are blending it in with the Atom Project. So towards the end, it did have a few panels of the next issue of the Atom Project. So be on the lookout for that new one. But yeah, a solid issue for this guy. That is why it is my top 5. So that is number 5. So at number 4, you're probably surprised. You probably thought this would probably be a bit higher. We got Detective Comics 1093. It's not so much that this one should have been higher. It's right where it should be. What I always want a Batman comic to be, my 1 or 2, sure, but number 4 is no slouch at all. With writer from Tom Taylor and art by Michael Janin. So Janine, I believe it is. So Tom Taylor did a great job with this. When this arc first started, it was a little wonky. It did start pretty slow. So basically, there's this person out there that is chasing after young children to basically kind of try to make a fountain of youth sort of for older folks. Kind of like targeting kind of like, I won't say bad kids, but kids that are in juvenile detention, yeah, kids that have maybe stolen cars, things like that. So um, when that like first started, I'm like, yeah, don't quite know how this is, but this issue brought it all together. So what I liked about it was it 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 showed you a layer of Batman that you're not usually seeing. Um, and like, not that you haven't seen him show compassion and things like that, but a bit more so this time. And then he does have a love interest who I believes he kind of has an idea. She might be in on it, she might not. You do find out things towards the end of this issue. Again, I won't quite say. If you want me to say, if you happen to reach out in the comments and you want me to just blurb it out, sure. But I want you guys to check it out. But if you are curious, just reach out to me, no problem, on any of these issues at all or in the future, whatever, past videos. But and what's great about this issue too is he has all of his Gotham Knights helping him as well. So that's what's cool. And I am looking forward to the next issue and see where this goes. So that is my number 4. So next up, this, I won't say surprised me, but this has been a great series and we're only 2 issues in. So Teenage Mutant Turtles and Naruto, whether you like these or not, pick these up at least. As I said, they're only 2 issues in. Pick them up. The worst that you waste is $10. They're around a $5 comic, is what it is. You won't regret it, trust me. And if you do, I'll give you the freaking $10. Whatever. Great run. Absolutely love it. Most people have this a bit lower, but I'm not most people. I absolutely love this stuff. I'm not quite, or haven't been huge on Naruto, but I think after I like start reading this, I might dive into it. Perhaps manga, more into the anime, things like that. Who knows? So great issue here. Those that haven't read the first one, pretty much set this up. So you do see some fighting in here, very briefly, but pretty much you are seeing the friendship of the turtles, and they meet Naruto and Sasuke and all that. So, and I won't say too much else. Like, again, I want you guys to try to read this stuff for yourselves. But yeah, so where to begin? Like, there was a lot going on here. That's why, like, when I first started, like, when I first opened the page, I'm like, oh, I'll probably have this maybe in my top 10. But no, this hit my number 3. So you see the flashback to Splinter's past. So kind of like the OG upbringing. He was a rat and then fell into the ooze, stuff like that. So this time they are all pretty much in this world, kind of, but they're like different villages. So Splinter was the pet rat to Master Yoshi, and then it happened. So he got cast out, gets into the ooze, finds the other 4 turtles, finds them in the ooze, and you know the rest. It's pretty much all the same for the most part. They're just in this village now, and they called one of the villages, I believe it's Big Apple Village or something like that. So kind of a hint at New York and all that. But yeah, solid issue. You get some minor comedy. Splinter is really taking these guys under his wing, and the mask that they have on is absolutely awesome. Like the artwork in this is crazy. I can't wait for the rest of this, and I think the trade paperback is going to be out come October. So if you didn't want to like get the individuals, at least get that trade paperback. You will not regret it. Great series so far. It is my number 3. All right, on to number 2. We got Absolute Wonder Woman. Number 4. So with this one, not sure if you guys are reading it. Kinda. I can't really avoid spoils here, but she does lose her arm. So there's that. So she has like this like kind of like metal like prosthetic arm, and she basically reaches out to Steve Trevor, and he says that he knows some witches, and so he takes Diana to those said witches, and they basically concoct Diana this potion to basically grow her arm back, essentially. So she does have to basically have this arm along with her sword to fight the Tetracide. So those who don't know, she's fighting like this big like tentacle being called a Tetracide. Won't get too much into it outside of that. Can't quite explain it too much better than that, but you got to read the other 3 if you truly want to understand this, or spoil it for yourselves. Go on Google, whatever. But that's what I'm here for. Like, but if you guys would rather hear more spoils, let me know in the comments below. If you just don't care, I'll just go spoil crazy. But I want to leave it up to you. I want you guys to embrace physical comics. Yeah, could you pick up a tablet and open up Marvel Unlimited or the DC version or Comixology on Amazon? Sure. I even have a couple of those, but those are digital copies from my physical versions. But I digress. This is a great issue. Please go and pick it up if you haven't already. Absolute Wonder Woman number 4. So as you probably expected, for those that follow this or heard my excitement from last week for this, Ultimate Spider-Man number 13. So before I get into this one, I did just get my, probably should have had it at the ready, but I did just get my copy of the volume 1 of the trade paperback. There's that guy right there, volume 1. I am either going to wait for the volume 2, which I think is out in March, or what I want to do is just get the individuals basically 7 through 12. That way I can start doing the individual issues from then on, or just do the trade paperback and just start here forward. Whatever comes first, it is what it is. But so glad I dove into this. This issue is insane. So this guy is just everything you would want out of a Spider-Man comic. Before I get into that, it is done by Hickman and Giacchetto. Can't say his name. But yeah, Hickman is doing an awesome job. Great art by Giacchetto. Just insane. So again, I can't quite avoid spoilers here, but here we go. So as you see here, Peter and Harry have been kidnapped by Craven. Basically took them and is basically planning a hunt. So and is kind of like setting them up and basically forcing them to join said hunt. And so that's kind of where they end things off. But where the meat is Peter and MJ's kid Richard basically is kind of, I won't say like what he's doing. Again, I want you to read it, but let's kind of say he's following in the footsteps of his father, and trying to see what he has been doing all this time, and finally sees like what's going on, because he's kind of in the life of Peter. And I won't say too much outside of that. Again, if you want spoilers, I will let you know, but I don't want to spoil it for you guys. Like, I want you to witness this stuff for yourselves. But yeah, great, great issue. Love everything about it. You do see somebody at the end. Again, don't want to say it's killing me, but you guys got to read this stuff, please. But again, if you want to reach out to me or whatever, I will talk about all this stuff with you. In any of the comics that I didn't put on this list, it's not that they were bad. It's just I just wanted it to do this top 5. Talk about it. I'm not even gonna have runner-ups and all that, but I wanted to get this out to you guys so you're at least saw my top 5 of last week's haul, and I will hopefully be doing the haul soon at some point for you, and we'll get that out. And also going forward, before I let you guys go, I do want to stop putting other content out, like just some little teasers here for you. A good friend of mine, Mr. Eric, reached out to me and gave me an idea of touching base on like characters individually. Like, for example, maybe I want to touch on Hulk and maybe talk about key issues he's been in. Where do you begin if you want to go down the journey of maybe collecting Hulk comics, or even just to read them, just to go, hey, I'm really interested in Hulk. Where do I begin? I'm really interested in Thor. Where do I begin? Interested in Aquaman? Where do I begin? So eventually, it's going to be a lot, but it's going to be fun. Don't quite know where I'm going to start quite yet, but that's the whole fun of this, right? We are learning together. Like, I'm teaching you, you're teaching me. Like we're just on this journey. Just here we are. Fun. And also to sprinkle in, I'll do, especially new people that want to get into comics but don't quite know how. I want to do things like what supplies you might need, where can you actually go for your comics, how do you find an LCS, things like that. So I'm really excited to even just talk about that, like, because I can go on forever for all that stuff. But yeah, so some little tidbits of what's going on in the future, hopefully. And let's just read comics together, guys. And I will let you go. And please do all the goodness for me. Like, comment, share, and subscribe. And as always, enjoy your comics.